Coming up in the news tonight, we have the latest in the fight against COVID-19 in the country. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force playing a vital role in the health crisis. And residents in East Grand Bahama to receive power beginning tomorrow. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Ministry of Health confirming one new case of COVID-19 in the Bahamas. During a press conference late this afternoon, the Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Dwayne Sands, revealed that a 29-year-old female of New Providence has been confirmed as the country's latest case. Additionally, he noted that there has been some changes to the health dashboard, noting that these changes have been made for a more clearer and accurate picture.
Locally, you were kept abreast of confirmed and recovered COVID-19 cases, persons in quarantine, and deaths. Today, we are modifying the dashboard to respond to requests made by the public for a better overall picture of how COVID-19 affects the Bahamas and to provide a fuller view of the data collected by the Ministry of Health. With a new dashboard, which should now be displayed on your screen, the Ministry of Health will add to our current reporting. 1, the number of RT-PCR tests completed in the Bahamas, the total active cases, and the number of patients hospitalized.
He also noted that the ministry is concerned about the island of Bimini, which recently recorded 5 new cases and is now the island with the second highest amount of COVID cases in the country.
After reporting 5 cases of COVID-19 on April 25th, Bimini is considered a hotspot. A surveillance team was sent and is currently on Bimini. And that team's objectives are to meet with the medical personnel to get an overview of COVID-19 activities, to identify contacts of the COVID-19 confirmed cases, to assess the identified isolation facility, to conduct a walkabout to determine the potential level of infection and control strategies in place, to enforce infection and control strategies, to host a town hall meeting via Zoom on Friday, and to perform additional tests on contacts of confirmed cases on the island. When our testing is concluded, we will be able to provide you with a full assessment of Bimini and the various mitigation measures taken to limit the spread of the virus.
Well, what was supposed to be a weekend trip turned out to be a long stay for a family of 3 visiting Grand Bahama from Great Harbor Key. The family, who chooses to remain anonymous, rented a room at a local resort, and now that their funds are depleted, they say they're being asked to leave. With no friends or relatives on Grand Bahama, the family, inclusive of an 11-year-old girl and a male stroke survivor, is faring the worst, as they say they have nowhere to go. Ramiko Knowles has this story.
Came into Freeport on a little weekend trip because my granddaughter, she's a priestess, and I promised her a trip into Freeport. And we came in, and unfortunately we got stuck.
The closure of the Bahamian borders has not only prevented Bahamians abroad from returning home, but it has also halted domestic travel. This family from Great Harbor Key, who are stuck here in Grand Bahama, is in need of assistance after being told by management at the Freeport Resort that it's time to leave.
They're telling us that the resort doesn't come under the government's stipulations with the rent and all of that because it's a resort. And they're telling us that our time is up. We paid a month's rent, and then we had the lady holding on to like $700 for us, but the rent for the month, the second month, is $900. And we were trying to deal with some matters to get it sorted out. So I tell her, just give me some time to get it together, but apparently that didn't work too well for us. So
Now, they say they have also sought assistance from the government agencies, but to no avail.
we went into the Prime Minister's office on yesterday. We spoke with some persons there, and they even end up texting the phone back, but we haven't heard anything since. And I spoke with a lady by the name of Miss Brown, and she was supposed to be checking some persons for us.
The family also tried to receive help from social services.
They said those forms have to be approved, and that takes some time to approve, so that didn't even work.
With nowhere else to turn, they're now fearing the worst. At this point, she says they only want to return home.
I am hoping, honestly, for the government to assist us in getting out of Freeport, because at this very present time, it's hard, and we don't know, honestly, we don't know where else to turn, because it's not like we know people here.
Now, as to why she chose to remain anonymous, here's what she says.
I don't want anybody to look at me, because, this isn't the worst of the worst, but it's just that we are stuck here in Freeport, and we don't know anybody. I go and I talk to people every day. Some people are nice, and then some people you don't really want to know your business.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Now, our news team reached out to the resort manager at Freeport Resort Club, Rochelle Williams, for a response. Williams says that the family was not asked to leave and notes that payment was due on April 21st. However, Williams says given the circumstances, they are willing to allow the family to remain at the resort until they can receive some assistance. Officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force are important partners in this battle against the coronavirus, COVID-19. The officers have been hard at work in the community ever since the passage of Hurricane Dorian. In this report, the Northern Commander addresses the role his officers are playing at this crucial time. Here is Jamila Mizik.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force has been on the ground in Grand Bahama for quite some time now and have been engaged in the community for years, not only assisting with policing, but social and humanitarian efforts. However, Officer of the Northern Command, Lieutenant Commander Whitfield Neely says the post-Dorian aspect of their performance is more humanitarian and it is still being acted upon as there are many needs in Grand Bahama.
We've been engaged from East End, Grand Bahama, McLeanstown, all the way down to West End. If you were to go through those communities, I'm sure you would find that people will be delighted just to speak of us, because we don't only come with bearing packages and helping out, putting the tarp on the roof, or helping the old ladies fix their fence. We do just about anything that persons ask us to do, as long as it's viable and it's within the realms of the laws of the Bahamas.
He says they have been called upon by the PHA, NEMA, and now since faced with the COVID-19 pandemic, the Royal Bahamas Police Force to assist with the nationwide lockdown and curfew measures. He says it is all a part of their mandate to assist their brother and sister forces with support.
The Defense Force Act gives us that window or that arm where we can step over and support the police force, like we do with immigration, like we do with customs. So therefore, it's like siblings helping each other. They are brothers, and if they call, we respond in a kind way, and we get there as soon as we can and support them.
Now he says while the borders remain closed, they continue to carry out their duties of protecting our shores.
We're ensuring that our waters are safe. We're also ensuring that there are no vessels coming in from the west. That will be from the United States of America. We're ensuring that our people here are protected from persons just willy-nilly filtering in and intermingling with our people and causing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And it is important we do that, because if we don't, the word gets out that you can just go in and do what you wish, and that can't be, because on Sunday we had to send somebody back. They were trying to come in, and we told them, no, the borders are closed, and we do welcome you and appreciate you considering us, but give us a few weeks and we'll be back open for business. But you have to return.
Lieutenant Commander Neely says there are many officers in the Defense Force who are experienced in many fields and are equipped to handle any situation, adding that he is proud of the team here on Grand Bahama. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
And indeed, we are grateful to all of our hard-working Defense Force officers. Now to the business sector. Ever since the government-imposed curfew commenced, local food stores and pharmacies have been buzzing with hundreds of consumers showing up to shop. This influx of customers means big business for food stores. As Italia Hall tells us, even the smaller stores are now boasting of a hike in business.
The COVID-19 pandemic has indeed brought on changes across the world. Among the changes, panic buying. For several weeks, customers have flocked to grocery stores, some standing in long lines for hours hoping to get on the inside to purchase some much-needed items. This rush has resulted in big business for the major stores, and for the smaller mom-and-pop stores, they are also benefiting. Over at Stop and Shop in the Caravel Beach community, owner Keith Roll says business for him has been good.
We're doing our best to keep supplies on the shelves and the necessary things that the customers are looking for. We have seen persons coming out in larger numbers and trying to get themselves sorted out. There's still a challenge with the sanitary products like Lysol and hand sanitizers. We from time to time get our hands on some, but that has been, well, as you know, shortage all over.
West Star Convenience Store has been around for some 6 years. The assistant store manager says they've been seeing a high volume of customers and notes that at the beginning of the lockdown, they experienced a bit of a challenge.
With the overcrowds of people and trying to deal with it and trying to comply with the social distance and stuff like that. But we don't have that crowd like how we did at first. It's like a steady flow, and we've been trying to have the customers comply with the distance and the face masks and all that stuff like that. Since the whole lockdown and the curfew, we had a boost in the sales, so it's been going really good for us.
Over at Tyler's Convenience Store and Express Mart, the story is the same as business levels are up.
They're, always in and out shopping, making sure they pick up the essential items, making sure that we're well stocked for them also. We, like you can see in the store, we have put up the X's. They're 3 to 6 feet in distance, and we ask every few minutes we have to check it out, because sometimes the customers adhere to and sometimes they don't, so we have to ensure that they do keep up these rules and regulations that are put in place.
Now, over the past week or two, the long lines at the stores on Grand Bahama have diminished a bit. Nonetheless, the stores remain busy. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Some good news for residents in East Grand Bahama who are still trying to rebuild their lives in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Jamila Mizik has the details.
The eastern part of the island was one of the hardest hit areas by Superstorm Dorian, leaving many of those residents without electricity since the storm in September. But the Grand Bahama Power Company has since energized the main feed up to High Rock. Director of Customer Operations Nikita Mulling says, effective May 1st, crews will begin energizing customers that have been approved by the Ministry of Works for temporary power or for occupancy.
Our plan for the East is to rebuild the transmission and distribution line and to rebuild the distribution within the communities prior to the storm season, and ensuring that we provide power to all those that have been deemed safe to receive power. So we're asking customers that have been approved for Ministry of Works permits to make notification to the Grand Bahama Power Company so we can make connection to those homes.
Now, Mulling says as it relates to the entire island of Grand Bahama, GBPC is fully in preparation mode as the hurricane season is quickly approaching.
Our teams have already begun pre-storm preparation, ensuring that our inventory levels are stocked to the storm levels, ensuring that our crews are prepared, and we have begun reaching out for alternative resources as needed.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
My brothers and sisters, just want to give thanks to God for His good, His mercy endured forever. I want to take your attention briefly to the Word of God, John 3:16, as it declares, "For God so loved the world that He gave." And briefly, I want to talk about His reckless love for the world. From Grand Bahama to this part of Africa, North, South Korea, whatever situation, circumstances, I want to declare and decree into your life that God is in control of everything, for He loved the world And he's not going to put more on us Bahamians and the world that we can bear. Yes, you can, because he can rescue the perishing, care for the dying. The love of God is reckless love for all of us, but go through the entire world giving love and sharing and caring. His love surrounds the entire commonwealth of this Bahamas. And yes, my brothers and sisters, fear not, for God is on your side. You will be delivered, because whom the Son set free is free indeed. Ebenezer Baptist Church, we come to say we thank God. Bahamas, we come to thank God. People of the world, we come to give thanks and praise to God. Yes, he is good, because his reckless love is sufficient for everyone. The black, the white, the rich, the poor, everyone has come to humble his beginning. We are all now on one accord. The entire world is locked down, but Jesus is the answer to every situation. Yeah, you don't got to run to the four walls anymore. Just as I am without one plea, knowing that his blood was shed, and as he bid us to come, Lamb of God, yes, Lamb of God, will take away the sins of the world. His love, his grace, his mercy is sufficient. Yes, his reckless love can supply and sufficient for all of our need. Be blessed, my brothers and sisters. God loved this world, and he loved the Bahamas. Be blessed.
A local organization providing hundreds of hot meals today. That story coming up.